Centuries ago, people thought that being healthy meant having a balance of certain body fluids. They believed that if someone had too much of one fluid, it could make them sick. This idea was based on thinking and not on scientific evidence. However, with the discovery of blood circulation by William Harvey and the use of thermometers to measure body temperature, it was proven that this idea was incorrect. Later, scientists discovered that our immune system plays a big role in keeping us healthy and that our mental state can affect our immune system. In other words, our mind and emotions can impact our physical health. Also, health is influenced by a range of factors, including genetic disorders, infections, and lifestyle choices such as diet, exercise, and rest. By understanding these various factors and taking steps to promote healthy habits, individuals can improve their overall health and well-being. You might have heard so many times when people talk about health, but what does it really mean? It's not just about being free of illness or being physically fit. Health includes complete well-being in all aspects of life, physical, mental, and social. And when people are healthy, they are more productive and contribute to economic growth. But that's not all. Good health can also lead to longer life expectancy and lower rates of infant and maternal mortality. So, investing in health is not just good for individuals, but for society as a whole. Achieving good health is a top priority for all of us. But to achieve this, we need to pay attention to our diet, personal hygiene, and exercise regularly. Understanding diseases and their impact on our bodies, getting vaccinated against infectious diseases, proper waste disposal, vector control, and maintaining hygiene in our food and water sources are all critical factors in achieving good health. By taking care of ourselves and being aware of these important practices, we can all enjoy a healthier, happier life. So, now let's understand the impact of some of the diseases in our body. But before that, let's see what are its types. When our body's organs or systems are not working properly and it shows various signs and symptoms, we are considered unhealthy and have a disease. There are two main types of diseases, infectious and non-infectious. Infectious diseases are easily spread from person to person through various means such as air, water, food, and bodily fluids and are very common, and some of them, like AIDS, can be fatal. Infectious diseases are caused by pathogenic microorganisms such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. On the other hand, non-infectious diseases, also known as chronic diseases, are not caused by pathogens and are not contagious. These diseases can develop due to genetic or lifestyle factors such as poor nutrition, lack of physical activity, smoking, and excessive alcohol consumption. Some examples of non-infectious diseases include cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Now, let's move on to the topic in which we will understand how some infectious diseases that affect our bodies, but before that we need to understand the few very important terms that are host, pathogen, and vector. Let's understand them one by one. A host is an organism that provides a home or living environment for another organism. A pathogen refers to any microorganism, such as a bacterium, virus, fungus, or parasite, that can cause disease in its host. Pathogens have the ability to invade the host's body and disrupt normal physiological functions, leading to illness. A vector refers to an organism, often an insect or a tick, that can transmit disease-causing pathogens from one host to another. It basically functions as a carrier of disease-causing pathogen. Let me tell you a story about a famous typhoid carrier named Mary Mullo, also known as Typhoid Mary. Mary worked as a cook and unknowingly carried the typhoid bacteria in her body. She continued to spread the disease for years by preparing and serving food to others. This case highlights the importance of food hygiene and proper cooking techniques to prevent the spread of infectious diseases. Typhoid fever is a serious illness caused by the bacterium Salmonella typhi, and is typically spread through contaminated food and water. Once the bacteria enter the small intestine, they multiply and can spread to other organs via the bloodstream. Symptoms of typhoid fever typically include high fever, ranging from 39 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, and loss of appetite. If left untreated, it can lead to intestinal perforation and even death. Treatment includes antibiotics and supportive care, and prevention involves improving sanitation and hygiene practices, as well as vaccination against the disease. Diagnosis of the disease is usually confirmed through blood, urine, or stool tests. A specific blood test named Widal test is done in case of typhoid. This test helps doctors determine whether someone has been infected with the bacteria that cause typhoid fever. The Widal test measures the levels of these antibodies in the blood. If the test shows high levels of specific antibodies, it means that the person has been infected with the bacteria and has developed an immune response to it. This information is crucial for doctors to provide the appropriate treatment to the patient and prevent further spread of the disease. Without proper diagnosis and treatment, typhoid fever can lead to serious complications such as intestinal perforation, sepsis, and even death. Now, coming to pneumonia, it is a bacterial infection that targets the alveoli, the air sacs in the lungs responsible for breathing. Bacteria like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae are responsible for this disease. The infection results in the accumulation of fluid in the lungs, making it difficult for the person to breathe normally. Symptoms of pneumonia include fever, chills, cough, headache, and, in severe cases, blue lips and nails. The disease can spread from one person to another through inhaling droplets or aerosols released by an infected person, or even by sharing utensils and glasses with an infected person. Pneumonia can be dangerous for people with weakened immune systems, such as children, the elderly, and people with chronic illnesses. Other bacterial diseases in humans include dysentery, plague, and diphtheria. Dysentery is caused by bacteria that affect the intestinal tract, leading to diarrhea with mucus and blood in the stool. Plague is a disease caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, which is transmitted to humans through the bite of an infected flea. Diphtheria is a bacterial infection that can cause severe damage to the respiratory system and other organs. It is transmitted through respiratory droplets and is preventable through vaccination. Now, let's understand a disease caused by a virus. Rhino viruses are a group of viruses that are responsible for causing one of the most common infectious diseases in humans, the common cold. The common cold is a mild viral infection of the upper respiratory tract, which includes the nose and throat. Unlike pneumonia, which is caused by bacteria, the common cold does not affect the lungs. Symptoms of the common cold include nasal congestion and discharge, sore throat, hoarseness, cough, headache, and fatigue. These symptoms usually last for 3 to 7 days. The common cold is highly contagious and can be spread through direct contact with an infected person or by touching contaminated objects such as pens, books, cups, doorknobs, computer keyboards or mouse, etc. Preventing the spread of the common cold can be achieved through basic hygiene practices such as washing hands regularly, covering the mouth and nose while coughing or sneezing, and avoiding close contact with infected individuals. There is no specific treatment for the common cold, but over-the-counter medications can be taken to alleviate symptoms. In most cases, the common cold resolves on its own within a week. We hope that you have understood the topic till now. The other important diseases are covered in part 2 of the video of common diseases in humans. Now, here is a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve answer-based MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for Class 11 and 12 biology, and much more for your NET preparation.